Welcome everyone to our Black Voices series featuring Detroit poets. Happy National Poetry Month. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Stephanie Steinberg. I'm the founder of the Detroit Writing Room and the New York Writing Room. And we have an awesome nonprofit arm called Coaching Detroit Forward. So I see JLo and Elena are here. Good to see you guys. They were our students in our journalism and photography camps last summer. So thank you all for coming out tonight. I'm really excited. We've been doing this Black Voices series now since last year, and we've featured every certain genres from memoir writers to romance writers. We had fiction writers, and obviously tonight poets. Coming up, we're going to have a Black Voices series featuring podcasters, which Maxwell Griffin is one of the panelists, and he's here tonight. So welcome, Max.
Doing all right.
Yeah. So tonight we've got 4 poetry readings, and then Crystal is going to moderate a discussion. Crystal is our house poet who hosts the Art of Poetry every month. And if you guys have not been to that, you're going to have to come back. And a special thank you to poets and writers for hosting tonight's event and supporting us in the art of poetry as well. At the end, we'll have time for Q&A. So if you guys have questions, feel free. You'll be able to take yourself off mute, ask any of the poets, have a conversation. If you want to eat, drink, have a good time, go for it. This is meant to be a fun night. So without further ado, I am going to call up our first poet, and feel free to, again, use the chat box, you guys. But Nandi is our first presenting poet, and this is actually my first time meeting Nandi, so we'll eventually have to meet in person. But I'm very excited to hear her poetry. And Nandi, feel free to explain more who you are, your background, and then launch into your poetry.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, thank you so much for coming. I know that it's a Thursday night. The sun is going down a little bit later in the day, and we all get excited about going outside. Can you all hear that noise? You can. I apologize. Apparently, my neighbor decided to start sawing right at 7 o'clock. I guess he's taking advantage of the longer days as well. But thank you so much for making time for poetry, especially during Poetry Month. My name is Nandi. I am a poet, a writer, and I'm from Detroit. And in the last 2 years, I've come out with 2 books, and I've just been like teaching poetry and doing poetry in Detroit since I was like 16, essentially. Like a lot of people, I'm a quiet poet. I'm not necessarily a performance poet. So a lot of times people think of me as not being around, but I'm over there for the quiet kids. I oftentimes pull the ones that are a little bit shy, and I go work with them in terms of getting them to do poetry. So I'm gonna read 2 poems today. One of them is from my first book, American Family Syndrome. Just to give you an intro, this book is really about thinking about some of the racialized trauma that we have going on in our community, especially the Black community. And so I wrote a poem specifically for women and how they experience the medical system. Sorry about that noise. It's named after a woman who was one of the slaves who was operated on by Dr. Sims. He's considered the founder of most of modern day gynecology instruments, but he just made a lot of those discoveries by operating on Black women who were slaves at the time, oftentimes without their permission. So the title of this poem is called Anarcha Appears Again and Again. Once I was a slave, then I was an Alabama woman, a hushed experiment hidden between the damp thighs of Tuskegee men. Too many times I was a newborn next to my mother in LA General County Hospital. Her slick syllables said something in Spanish, something in English, something about sterility, something about tubes. I am plump and soft and have not always had this hair. Always damaged, always ruined, sent away to be fixed and corrected. I am America's opaque shadow, tossed like a dog rotting on every country roadside. I've been Gila sales passed around like Halloween candy. Are the doctors still waiting for their black offering? Me, a silk dress of skin, consider this. Each moment I am perched on an examination table is my break, diseased heart, taken child. This is how I feel, wide, dark, lumpy, cotton at the bottom of a pillowcase. My cartilage has been so trustworthy in its role, how it performs its designed duty, how it keeps fastened my flesh to my bone. If I could be more than a specimen, more than a collection of daffodils, flora would mean I was not here. Don't you see? I am still here on all fours. I was never bone, nor beast, nor symbol for suffering. I am a compass for warnings, a cured tissue. They are still dressing me for the cut, and I prep for the familiar cold gauze turned warm, then wet, then red. And the second poem I'm going to read from my second book. I know oftentimes like this one is really deep, heavy about racial trauma. And this one is still about race, even though it's about Mexican wrestling. So you don't get away with it with me and my poems. So I am gonna read a poem from here that it's really about, the book is about Mexican wrestling, but within there are a lot of things about identity. And so I'm going to read a poem that's about a movie that I watched a long time ago and just thought it was kind of awful, but you know, we write about awful movies sometimes. Uncle Rod watches Man on Fire. The American assassin Denzel is cutting off a Mexican man's finger for stealing the blonde child worth so much in this movie. Denzel, the kidnappers, the crooked cops, everybody is greasy with sweat or blood. My uncle looks from the screen to me. You live there? Are they really like that? We are watching a rented film, flash statues of streets of a country my uncle will never visit. I am his world-wandering niece, visiting home from a dusty Tapatio town, so I must have seen these bodies. I must have seen the city the camera flitters and cuts through, but Denzel is already blowing it up. My uncle's perched on the edge of his couch cushions, balancing a dinner plate weighed down by macaroni and cheese and cornbread. He dips strands of turkey into oily collard juice and stares at Denzel with his Denzel pimp limp stride, turning over the city the way Denzel turns over a city in a movie. I mean, do they really kidnap people there? I mean, aren't you afraid they'll take you? I crossed lingual borders with other bodies back and forth through cities where there is no soul food and no blonde girls being taken from Denzel and no Denzels dying for the freedom of little blonde girls. There are towns where no one says kidnapping. Denzel slips on slim, sleek shades and tilts his head towards an evaporating horizon. I don't want to answer my uncle's questions. I don't want to have to tell him sometimes a gritty danger walks with my American body, that I code my tongue in front of taxi drivers, that I talk loud in cafes so everyone knows I am fluent. Denzel keeps demanding, La niña, ¿dónde está la niña? And I want to take my uncle's plump brown wrist and walk him through my neighborhood. La tortilleria, a hardware store, ma lavanderia, the closest place for a torta, down the street, a Walmart. I know he would stop at a corner cart for a hot dog wrapped in bacon and covered in cream. I want to teach him the word secuestro only means gone, and I am not a gone girl. I lie. I watch the pale child run through the country of dogs and cumbia towards Denzel. The smoldering metropolis sprawls behind her. Denzel is already dead, gone. The kidnappers are already dead, gone. My uncle shrugs and digs his fork into his plate, and the little blonde girl keeps running on. Thank you.
Very nice.
Very, very, very nice. Snap, snap, snap. Everybody unmute yourself. Snap, snap, snap.
Awesome, awesome.
First of all, the Spanish intuition with it, like that's I like being able to cross barriers. And Nandi, like you said, can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nandi, something that like first of all that resonates with me so well because that's literally what this event started as, being able to help others. So you being able to do that for the kids, like that's amazing. I honestly want to get with you on some other stuff. I want to start a school that's teaching kids audio. So audio, music, that go together. We need the lyrics for the music, right?
Contact. I know some
Yeah,
folks.
definitely. Oh yeah, for sure. We need to definitely link up on that because our kids need us for real. That's exactly why I'm here. The yoga for the kids. Everything around me is surrounded around them because I was that kid in Detroit. I was a Detroit public school kid that didn't have a whole lot going on, you know, as far as a stable household. So writing and other things that just really helped me basketball. But now it's other stuff that I'm doing that's gonna be helpful. So beautiful poetry. Are you doing anything with Detroit public school system at all?
Currently, I'm not, but I always do want to. I oftentimes work with like programs that want to do. I don't do direct contracts. I'll do it with organizations, so Inside Out and Youth Speaks. A lot of like groups that are working with youth inside and out of the schools.
Oh yeah, that's amazing, and I definitely want to talk to you about that more when you into the Detroit public schools. I know some people there too, and that'll be really really good. But thank you so much for sharing, being a part of this. You did not have to be here, but you are, and that's amazing to me. Thank you for sharing space and energy.
All right, guys. Thanks, Crystal. We're gonna go to Righteous Knowledge is next.
Okay. Well, my name is Righteous Knowledge. I am a poet, husband, father / DJ. I'm in a group also called Third Eye Open. We started in Detroit in 2002, and we are approaching our 19th anniversary on May 19th. We started the group in conjunction to Malcolm X's birthday and the spirit of the last poets as well. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and just do my poem. I'm not gonna preface it. You'll get it when you hear it. And I'm just gonna go. I want you to close your eyes and listen. Listen to the voices echoing in the wind. Listen to the voices screaming from deep within. Can't you hear the cries of our ancestors captured and placed in the bows of ships? Can't you see them being beaten and whipped on their backs like shaklack, clack? If that's too far for you to reach back, imagine being shot in your backs 5 times like Walter Scott for a broken brake light at a traffic stop. Imagine you're home alone like 92-year-old Katherine Johnson when suddenly your privacy is invaded. Home raided by crooked narcotic officers using a no-knock search warrant as permission to knock your door down. Terrified, you fire 1 shot from a rusty 38 and miss. They reply with a 39-shot volley of bullets that hit you. Handcuff you, watch you bleed to death, place weed in your basement, concoct a fabricated fairy tale with an informant to say he brought crack from your house, file a fake incident report to support their lies while your death is ruled a tragic mistake. Imagine you're out at Club Kahlua celebrating your bachelor party like 23-year-old Sean Bell when undercover officers claim they see you arguing outside the club with the pimp. They assume you're about to do a drive-by, move in unannounced, pounce on your vehicle and attack. And for the next 30 seconds, this pack of rabid dogs unleash a 50-shot barrage on you and your unarmed friends. Tragically, you, the groom-to-be, fatally becomes a victim of unholy matrimony, an authorized marriage ceremony that is often performed within our community. So you part your fiance in death before she becomes your wife. The happiest day of your life never comes into fruition. And by the power vested in them, I now pronounce you a victim of police terrorism. Your homicide rule justified in the eyes of their system. You may now kiss your life and your future wife goodbye. Now, I want you to open your eyes and realize that these are only a few of the real lives stolen and taken away at ground zero by these neo-COINTELPRO popos always getting acquitted when they know they did it, but they need to quit it because the people will never forget the reality of police brutality in our communities, which is to serve us and protect themselves. We need to protect ourselves from these cops, these crooks out patrolling streets who be rolling deep looking for people to beat like Floyd Dent, abusing their power, living in delusions of grandeur, trying to slander us with propaganda when we fuss, but what's good for the gander is good for the goose. And what would happen if these chickens came home to roost or these pigs flopped and slopped? Bad cop, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when them come for you? Bad cop, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when them come for you? What if there was a reality show called Cops Drop? When the community would put the block on lock, set up shop, and cop watch. And every time a cop rolled down the block, they would get stopped. The moment they opened their mouth, they would get socked, told to get out of the car with their hands up so they can get locked with 3 hots and a cot. If they tried to resist, they would get dropped. If they continued to persist, they would get popped with the Glock and put in the pine box to rock with the flag on top to match the red, white, and blue lights on their squad cars. What if the drop squads were acquitted with justified justice, with the cops sit back in silence, with the cops result to violence? These are just a few things to make you go, Now, I want you to close your eyes and listen. Listen to the voices echoing in the wind. Listen to the voices saying, I can't breathe. Listen to George Floyd, Eric Garner, Dante Wright, Breonna Taylor, Tamir Rice, Ayanna Jones, Rayshard Brooks, Atiana Jefferson, Corinne Gaines, Kendra James, and the hundreds of other names that we'll never hear breathing. Bad cop, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when them come for you? Bad cop, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when them come for you? Bad cop, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when them come for you? Bad cop, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when them come for you? That's it.
Come on, brother. Come on. That man, look, perfect piece for the occasion. That's what I think. Perfect piece for the occasion.
Thank you.
This is my brother for real. My customers turn into my friends, but if they're, I'm not gonna say worthy, but if we flow like that, and I know his kids, I know his wife.
Yes.
It's literally. Yes, all from Guitar Center. So blessings to Guitar Center. Even though I no longer work there, so many things that I got from there. But like somebody said, it really resonates. And you can hear it. And I love the singing vibe with it too, because it gives me that reggae feel that I love so much.
So funny. I usually do it. I usually perform that piece with music. So in my mind, I'm hearing the music in my head, and I still have a
case. Is the music like reggae type music?
No, actually, I did a remix to one mic, and I made one mic fit my poem, and I got it as my own.
Classic. That's beautiful, bro. I'm a fan anyway, and I didn't even know that you was a part at first. He's also a veteran, so thank you for your service as well. But like I said, we resonated in lots of areas. I didn't get to tell y'all much about myself, but that's one thing about me is I'm a veteran, and this is just mind blowing. I think that not only is poetry important, but us in America right now, it's important to substance the things that we are saying. So we have to be aware 100% of the time on what we're doing. And it's no kind of about it. This helps with that. It helps us to be more aware when we're writing these things out and you're stuck in those situations and the police is coming. You can revert back to your own words. You know what to do to continue to breathe. And that's so important. So thank you so much for sharing that and blessing us with your light, bro.
All right, and we got Jessie Smith, SLo Smiff in the house. Welcome back, Jessie.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I am so happy and honored to be here. And I just, Nandi and Righteous Knowledge, man, I'm so pleased and honored just to be in the same format on the same screen with you guys. And my art today touches on a lot of the same thing. I am SLo Smiff from Detroit, a member of the outfit in Detroit Most Wanted, actually featured in the Detroit Institute of Arts Deciphered exhibit. One of the things that I really want to touch on today is, just like the brother Righteous Knowledge was saying, There's a lot of things going on in the world with the injustice, inequality. When we think of George Floyd, when we think of Sandra Bland, you still can't forget people like Rodney King and Malice Green. So of course, we are angry, we are hurt, but a lot of times we handle things in the wrong way. And we do not want our anger to be looked at, as hateful. And it's a way to get your point across and say what you have to say. And sometimes it takes maturity to get to the point to where you have charisma and tact and things like that. So I'm hoping the words I have for everybody tonight is something that can be shared, because one of the things that separates everybody, regardless of our color, is, well, a few of the things separate us: politics, religion, and even science. But a lot of times art can cross through all that, especially if you put universal truths in it that can't be denied. So I hope my voice is something that everybody will listen to, be uplifted by, and even share, and use it as a voice of composure to get our point across without being hateful. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
All right. Name of the piece is Protect the Served. There are no statutes of limitation for human rights violations or the atrocities defined by law as crimes against humanity. Protect and serve, in layman's terms, translation: need a neck and cheek to pavement. Power to the people, this ain't no sequel. Fist up high, bend the spirit, tried to kill it, but it wouldn't die. Buzz in a protest with a Black Hawk, for Christ's sake. Singing, we shall overcome. How long do time take? I guess we somewhere in the middle of Martin and Malcolm, because we ain't turning no more cheek and we kneel at the anthem. So stop crying about the riots. We built the nation. That's why we in the streets like Middle East or rocks at tanks when nobody here to cry for justice. It's just us. Land of the free don't count for me. They want us all in cuffs. Remember Malice Green and Sandra Bland? In the dark, Stevie Wonder could see blood on your hands. Ain't about the color of skin, it's what hides within. Facts. Turn the white mask around, it's a dunce hat. See, we've been screaming, give us free since the Amistad. 40 acres and a mule, it didn't count for us. They say if you don't like it, leave. That's fucking stupid. Roll with you, toss me the keys or call a Uber. How about you give us reservations like you did the natives? We know about the variola in them blankets. We know about how you knock a tower down with demolitions. Revelations tell us all about the tribulation. Shh. Moments of silence for violations of human rights. But now you call me violent because I won't let you just take my life. They say we 3/5 of a human. I read the piece, but who wrote the piece? Well, what that make you if you rape and then breed with a beast? I guess the truth sometimes hard to swallow. So I brought a funnel. Guess if it's ever gonna be tooth for tooth, then we all be gumming. Ain't no stopping us now, the world be watching how heathens govern. We could set it off like Latifah did with Big Willie's woman. So let me hold something. For bruh man come through your window. No hook, but I'm reminiscent to Al Cinder, because it's gonna take a nation to hold us if we stop being civil. Because liberty ain't shit but a statue if she ain't got morals. Concepts lacking in substance don't hold water. Who else take their babies to watch hangings but Monfiora? Seek Heil, need to be on trial. trial, sick in the noodle. We the people submit petition. We need a tribunal. So tell me, is oxymoronic like saying we gonna paint the White House black when they elected Obama? Or 45 at a photo I hold in the Bible? No more suffering silently, shit done went viral. See, we fear for our lives each time we hear a siren. Put the cuffs on yourself, you need to be in asylums. For you to hate me, I think is vile and childish. Global demand, put a stop to this nonsense, cause I'm only human. Don't ask me for too much too fast. I'm only human. Hey, hey. I'll be so very careful not to hurt your ass, because there are no statutes of limitation for human rights violations or the atrocities defined by law as crimes against humanity. No more protect and serve. It's time to protect those who are served. And this is my petition for a tribunal. Smith, thank you.
Woo!
Yes, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Respect.
Felt like I came from church.
Respect.
Yes, yes, yes.
Woo!
Building revelations about the tribulation.
Come
I
on with
was
the
like,
sun.
come on now.
Give him some more. Give him some more. Give him some more energy.
So, hey, you can be angry and be heard.
That's
And
right.
still handle it the right way so we don't come out on the bottom. And I hope this is something, like I say, for those of us that don't have the poetry in us, for those of us that's not a righteous knowledge or a Nandi Comer, I hope, or even a yogi, I hope that this is something that can be shared and used as a voice in the right way, because it's a universal truth that cannot be denied. We have a right to be angry, but at the same time, we want to be heard without handling it in the wrong way and coming out on the bottom. I'm really glad y'all felt me. Thank you.
Yes.
There's one time for the yogis. I heard you.
You see it.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
As usual, that was a blessing to hear. Definitely motivating. That's something I want to hear before I do yoga. You know what I'm saying? So
That's what's up.
I'm in the perfect space, which is very
Come on,
interesting
record.
for me. It's very interesting for me to be recording and doing this at the same time, but being able to still tap in with what you're saying and being present and mindful is that, like I said before, it's important to us moving forward as a Black people. When you're in that situation, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a choice whether you're gonna make a reaction or not, and that reaction could cost you your life.
Yes, it can. Even when you're in the right, if you handle it the wrong way.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, it's not the stimulus, it's the response, man.
Yes.
You know,
Real.
that's you know, that's life, you know. So,
Man, the righteous knowledge, I'm seen and admired you from a distance, man, for some years. It's a beautiful thing, actually. To me, this is
I'm humbled, man.
I'm honored, brother.
I'm humbled because I don't even, you know, get out and perform poetry at all right now. And you know, I mean, I'm DJing most of the time, you know what I mean? And so when I was asked to do this, it was humbling in itself, you know.
Yes.
And the thing is, it's just like I was telling Stephanie earlier, you know, I would substitute my quality of work for having quantity. You know, I know that I've done a lot of work out here, and the fact that years later people still want me to do things, I'm just still humbled and honored, man. But that's because we laid such a great foundation, and I wanted to do poetry with a purpose, and you know, that's always been my intent, you know, because you know, I use the poetry to fuel the activism. So you know, it's not mixed, diluted, or tampered with at all. This is 100% me, you know. So straight no chaser.
I want
You
to
know.
share with you guys. So I've been inspired by some of the people that have been in the group. for the art of poetry, and they were talking about, you know, how to write every day. I think Nandi was speaking on how that's part of her formula, but you know, her formula for writing is that she writes every day too. So I've been committed to that for the last week. Like even if it's just 4 sentences, if it's whatever it is that I'm writing, just letting it flow from my heart. So you guys can still see me, right?
We can hear you.
But you can't see me.
You disappeared.
You just
Okay, that's okay, because I gotta read it. So I'm calling the piece ego. Not for the culture. They tend to be disappointed. They doing it for the glory. They doing it for a foreign ego. I'm just a soul that's housed up in this body. The only one who can stop me. Not cocky. I done sat with my ego. Asanas and deep breaths. Repeat the sequence. I inhale, exhale. Medication for the deepest of thoughts to manifest my next moves, and then I reset. Ups and downs are just sensations. I am disconnected from emotional attachments and resentments. Smoke less on 420. I'm not doing what they're doing. That's what you call boss shit. I won't follow you into depression. Not when my aim is to lead us out of this oppression. See, some are pawns, some are kings. Me, myself, I am a queen. Through my thoughts, I can achieve all the things that my third eye sees. See, I am Detroit, I am East. I am rain, I am sleep. Not a vulture, but I fly. I'm at peace when I'm high, but I not for the culture. They tend to be disappointed. They doing it for the glory. They doing it for a foreign ego. I'm just a soul that's housed up in this body. The only one who can stop me, not cocky. I just sat with my ego in silence most days, smiling on the inside with the straightest face, reversing what society calls misplaced with my practice of self-preservation. I say affirmations repeating in my head. I am whatever I say I am. Remixing the white man from Detroit's words to apply to me because I am not who or what you say I am. My people are at the top of the missing persons list, kidnapped hundreds of years ago, and Chauvin is just the first conviction. Those wrinkles on his forehead are noticeable waves of worry. His privilege won't set him free. Ashe. I began calling on the ancestors, recognizing that there is power in numbers, and the lifespan of the Black man is decreasing. Murder is now called policing. What would change this evil way of thinking? Can you hear Sam Cooke singing? Background vocals sound like George Floyd screaming, "Mama, mama," as he took his last breath of responsibility. Unknowingly, he died for the culture. They still gonna be disappointed. They doing it for the glory. They invest thousands in the foreign, that ego. Where is the soul that's housed up in the body? Stop being cocky and just take a deep breath and check in with your ego.
Wow. Wow. Can't you hear Sam singing? Woo. Woo.
So I'm gonna work on some music to that next. That's that y'all the first people to hear that.
Yeah. You're gonna have to put some. I know how you be working, so you're gonna have to put some beats behind that, please. Please and thank you.
Tonight.
I already know how you work.
Yes. That's it. I mean, and clearly inspired by events. I actually met George Floyd when I was in Houston. He was a customer of mine. Not a lot of people know he was a DJ, part of Screwed Up Click. So, you know, this is a monumental thing that happened. It's not, it wasn't just a Black man. This is a Black man that was influential to the music scene. And if he had this look on his face that was natural, that I think a lot of Black men carry with them, this look of that they're dangerous. You know, and they're not dangerous. That's why I started the I Love Black Man movement, because as a lesbian, people assume I don't like men. And it's not that I don't like you. No, I just don't want to be intimate with you like that. You know, we can have intimacy that's not sexual. So I'm big on that movement of letting our Black men know, like, it's okay to smile. It's okay to heal. Let's take these proper steps. Being a yoga teacher was vital in that, because they need to know to breathe. And everybody talking about breathing, but then nobody's practicing Ujjayi Pranayama. Nobody's practicing box breathing. Nobody's practicing the real essential ancient healing things that we have accessible to us. But then we complain. So I just encourage everybody that's around me in my space, like, before you let a complaint come out your mouth, take a deep breath and think about that. Hold it at the top of your lungs. Count to 7. Release that. If you're a musician, don't even count. Let that thing roll on the beat. You know where the beat dropping. If you're a DJ, right? You know when the beat dropping. You can hear it coming. So that's when you drop your breath. The breath drop with the beat. The breath inhale with the beat. It's the same thing, same concept, same principle. So I'm writing from a different space, and this is the energy that's being created. So this started out with maybe I think we had 4 or 5 people the first time we did this, a dream, a vision, like Stephanie was talking about. It was no coincidence because I don't believe in those, but it was a purpose, and it's meant for these people to be here at this time. And in the art of poetry, the next one, it's going to be those people meant to be here at that time. And we all share this awesome space together. And then we bring others in to do that. That is the only way that we're going to make some change in what's going on. And we have to have allies. You can't be racist. You can't be a racist black person. First of all, it's not cool. Like, how you going to do what somebody doing to you, man? This is not cool. We don't swing like that. So we have to show them. If they don't know, they don't know. They've been raised like this for a very long time. This is learned behavior. It's our responsibility as the people that want to see the change to invoke the change. So I make people responsible. If you're my friend and you Caucasian and you say something off the wall, I'm gonna hold you accountable for that. Whether you're black, white, purple, Chinese, hey man, that's not okay with me. And it's not okay to say that. It's not okay to do that. But if you don't tell them and you don't make them aware, you can't really be walking around here complaining. Like, you're not doing nothing.
True that.
Yeah. So that's my long-winded speech on that. I thank y'all for letting me share. And I just want to thank you all for honestly showing up. That's all you have to do in your life is show up. Even if it's for a couple minutes a day, you writing, making that promise to yourself to write at least once a day. Start there with other little things that you can do once a day to help enrich your life, to broaden your horizon on the subject. Reading, all of those things that y'all mentioned is influential. Like, I'm touched by the event, even with my in-ears in. I'm telling you, it was really, really different for me. I've never had both of my things kind of at the same time. I record my poetry, but I never did a yoga flow to it. So I just want to thank you guys for inspiring me, for showing up, for being patient with me in the midst of my life, because this is what it is. It's ups and downs. They are the same to me, whether it's a high achievement or it's something that's going bad. I'm detaching myself emotionally from both. So it's cool either way. And I encourage everybody to work on things, to do the same thing for yourself, not getting so anxious, not being so ready to do something, but really sitting still and understanding what your next move is going to be before you make it. Hopefully y'all come back to the Art of Poetry. We'll be in-house next time. So next time you see me, I will be on the stage again, or at least my flesh stage at the Detroit Writing Room, downtown Detroit. So come in June. May is my birthday. If you're following me on social media, it's the _sound_yogi. Facebook is Crystal Hill. You can't miss me. I spell my name with 2 L's and an E. It starts with a K. We'll put the link in there or whatever, but I'm going to do something for my birthday. I'm going to go live and sing. This is a new Crystal, so new things, man. Y'all just show up. Keep showing up. Invite your friends. And shoot, namaste.
Thank you, guys. A special thank you to all the panelists, Nandi, Rachel, Jessie, and
Thank you.
Crystal. You guys are awesome.
Having me. Yeah, thank
So
you.
happy to be here. Jesse, make sure you call me, man. I put my number in the chat, man. Just send me a text. And I thank all of you all for just being a great attentive audience and everything. Like I said, I don't release that much, but I'm glad. And Nandi, I'm going to take a page from your book. I'm going to write something every day, straight up, every day.
And then you're going to come and record it with me. So we're going to get you featured on one of my tracks with my LP. I'm not playing about that.
Okay.
Comes.
What'd you say, Nandi?
I can't wait to hear about how it goes.
Okay, no, I'm going to write something every day, even if it's a word or two. I am going to start. I am committed
Let's
to it.
all do that. Let's all do that. Real talk. We should all commit.
And I will be seeing you soon. I got to come down to your spot too.
And we
see me, bro. I'm east side.
I'm on you, man. I'm on you as soon as you put it out there, man. I did the copy and paste, man. I'll make sure we exchange information, man. I'm on you. It's a pleasure to meet you and know you, bro.
Absolutely. We'll make that connection very soon. We'll make it very soon.
For sure.
I thank all of y'all for being attentive. And Stephanie and Crystal, thank you both for the invite.
Of course. And you guys come back for our next Black Voices
Absolutely. Send emails. I'm on it. I'll be there.
And Maxwell, quick plug if you want to share your Black.
I've been quiet and cool the whole time. Say something.
No, I mean, my strategy is I don't say anything, so you have to go to the next event. So you'll find out all about it at the next event. So there you go, Stephanie.
All right, that works. And the Art of Poetry returns the last Monday in June. Like Crystal said, we're gonna go in person, 20 people max, but there will be a virtual option too. So we're gonna do both in person and virtual. It's gonna be awesome. But stay safe, stay healthy. I cannot wait to see you all in person very, very soon. And thank you guys. Happy writing.
All right. Thank you. Everybody take care. Peace.
Everybody take care. It's been a pleasure and an honor. All love.
Bye.
All right. Peace.